Hey Earth family, Javi here. I want to talk with you if you are a martial artist and a soul seeker, and if you're looking to take the lessons off the mat out of the dojo and into everyday life. And I'm wondering if you're interested in learning how Eastern and Western thought intersect, and if you're spiritually inclined, but also struggle to see how spirituality can intersect with the martial arts journey. The problem is how are you supposed to cultivate and go within, when we live in a world that's mostly focused on the material dimension. And if we try to speak about the immaterial dimension, it's demonized as woo. And so how can you communicate with others if you're introverted or stuck in your head? That's me. How do you understand the mystical experience without a common terminology or template? And how do we get to the mysteries of life if we're not equipped to ask deep questions? Is it actually possible to commit a life to martial arts mastery and skill, but ignore the energetic and the spiritual components? And with life full of commitments, running business, raising a family, schools, bills, how do you find the time to nurture spirituality, cultivate energy, integrate mind, body, soul? Even after achieving rank, trophies, titles, whatnot, even with all that, a sense of void and emptiness can still creep in. If you're like me, you've probably tried to turn off your thoughts, clear your mind, and just cultivate this skill. You've probably studied world religions. Maybe you've gone far east and learned with monks, trained in monasteries. You've studied self-help, meditation, psychology, philosophy, but nothing's quite sort of clicked or worked out to make you feel stable, centered, balanced, and on the right path. As a result, you haven't found the right practice that speaks to your mind, body, and soul. And it subsequently falls short to provide the tools for everyday life. And so, how do we move forward and find the time to cultivate energy within? When we have to focus on stand-up, ground game, endurance, weight, protein intake. And how do we ask those deep questions and not be outcast as an outsider? And even after maybe going far east and training with monks, coming back to lose all that knowledge and skill to the daily grind and the habits. Why does the mystical conversation get dismissed and demonized as woo? Why are we so pressured to conform to societal norms when most of this material world leads to conflict, division, infighting, and violence? Can we really cultivate the chi without feeling like an outcast? Can we embrace the woo without looking like a fool? What age should we achieve enlightenment and self-knowing if we're constantly supposed to be growing and evolving? And so you wait. But how long should you wait for that sign from the universe? Oh, it's time to do weights. It's time to do cardio. It's time for stand-up. Shoot, I missed another session. What about your protein intake, your diet, gut, emotional intelligence, clearing the trauma? What are people going to think or say about you? He's a quack. He entered a cult. If any of these questions run through your head day after day, I might be able to help because this is how I am. While I don't claim to have all the answers, I've been there and done all that. And with a step-by-step plan, I help martial artists and combat athletes find their inner mystic, and finally validate that inner voice that's seeking the translation from the earthly to the mystical, the martial mystic. And not that long ago, I was in your shoes. Those early days were pretty lonely, rough. And I mean, like as a kid, when I came into consciousness, embodiment, self-awareness, I was jolted, shocked, and I actually thought I was sick and dying. But we're not taught, and we're not encouraged, and we're not given helpful templates to address the internal world and dimension. And we have to conform to society. So I did, you know. In training, I would have these out-of-body, transcendent experiences that I couldn't explain. But I always gravitated towards martial arts, growing up as a teenager and then as a young adult. But as an introvert, I didn't want to ask weird questions, be awkward and ostracize. We all need friends. Anyways, long story short, I did meet some great mentors along the way, and I fulfilled my childhood dream of living and training full-time with a master. And I did that for in a 9-year program. Anyways, if that's kind of how you feel right now, I've developed a roadmap that helps martial artists, soul seekers lean in, dive deep, so I can give and provide mind, body, soul sets that help one connect inward. If one is willing and has the courage to know thyself. That's what I'm into. We all get to that point where we want to stop conforming and be true to ourselves. So I can help you to see that you're one breath away from relaxation, one session away from centeredness and calmness, and one lifetime away from liberation. My mantra here is to embrace the woo and transcend the divide. After all the anxiety, fear, worry, stress, shame, I followed my voice. I tapped into my spirit, my inner calling, my greater good. It was a long road, not easy, but it was honest and true to myself, and I can sleep well at night. And I eventually found out also that I wasn't alone. And there's a lot of martial artists going through this mystic awakening. And so you're not alone. And we like to say we gravitate towards the inside. We're the insiders. So I had this crazy idea to build a step-by-step plan of fear of being an outcast to embracing the woo with a 6-week immersion experience. No flashy moves, no messing around, just a simple plan to take you. Why am I here in this body doing all this martial arts stuff? To connecting inward, knowing thyself, embracing the woo, engaging with the inside. So if that's something that sounds interesting to you, if you want to claim a spot in this program, comment below with yinside as a supernatural or mystic if you want to dive deep, or woo me if you want to embrace the woo and keep your self-respect. And if you feel comfortable with DMing me, that's cool too. So I'm really excited about the program. I'm going to be providing more information and details as we move forward and get closer to launching it. May your chi flow smoothly, and talk to you soon.